looking back at the start of indoor season, heading into that first meet, the goal was to, stay healthy and kind of get back into things, it sounded like. But now the indoor championships here, you've got a handful of meets under your belt. I guess, what are the expectations now heading into this weekend?
Expectations going into this weekend are trying to get kids on the line healthy. It's been very, very difficult and challenging for us. We're having a lot of the same minor issues, shins and hamstrings, things like that are somewhat typical to track and field, but they're hitting us at the wrong time. So this week might be a blessing, not being on the track as much. So then again, it might not be. I'm just letting Coach Ansley take care of all that, and she can work her magic and get everybody on the line at 100%. I think the way the conference, the season has gone so far, I'm happy with what we've done. We've had a lot of really good individual performances. So I think we can score pretty well at the meet. We're just low on numbers, but healthy or not healthy, we're low on numbers right now. So that's just something that we're working on and recruiting and in that battle. So I'm happy about the way recruiting is going right now. But recruiting, as we just found out this morning, they're continuing the dead period through May. Thank goodness, we wouldn't want to recruit anybody. Sometimes it's hard to sell an out-of-state kid on Western Kentucky when they haven't been here to see everything that we have to offer. So, but I think staff's doing a good job of that. And, it's track is a numbers game. We need numbers. We've got some really good quality kids. I expect many more podium finishes this year than we had last year. So we're looking forward to this weekend.
Hey, Coach, this is Nick from the College Heights Herald. And first off, good morning. Snow week, crazy. So my first question for you is, Jared may have asked this, but my audio was kind of whack. But what are y'all's expectations heading into this weekend? And I know that preparation may have looked a lot different heading into this, but just what are y'all's overall expectations heading into this weekend?
Well, I think our staff doesn't have a whole lot to compare it to. We've been through one championship so far, and that was last year's indoor. So comparing it to that, our expectation is we will have, like I said, should have many more people on the podium as all conference performers. Our score should improve quite a bit from last year. We're starting to get a little bit more of a balanced attack on what's going on. Our men are getting much more balanced. The women are still struggling a little bit with that, but again, it's a numbers game, and that's something we just have to work on.
Coach, this is Jared again with the Daily News. Marlo gets the weekly award. I believe that was yesterday. It was announced. He's the third different individual the program's had this indoor season to get one of those individual awards. And I believe Dana had a stat that it's the first time you've had three different individuals between indoor or outdoor season in a season since 2016. Get that? Looking at she gave me the thumbs up. When you hear that, do you feel like you're ahead of where you thought you would be, or right where you're at, or I guess where do you think you're at this point in terms of the performances?
I think we are where we should be. Actually, we should have had 4 Athlete of the Week honors so far. 3 different people. We should have had 4. Alexis Williams, I think, should have had it twice, but those things happen when other people vote on it. But I'm happy with where we are. I think we could have had maybe one more somewhere else along the way, but yeah, I mean, I'm certainly happy with that. I'm happy that the kids are getting recognized for their hard work, and as well they should be. The COVID year is weird. I cannot thank my staff and the student athletes enough for the work that they've put into it, and they have done everything they can to just make it another standard year. And we all know it's anything but standard. But I tell you what, our kids here have been amazing. They just put their head down no matter what gets thrown at them. They just say, okay, well, we'll go train anyway. And I'm very happy with what we've done.
Coach, this is Nick again. And maybe this could be a roundtable question. I know that Brooks just came on, so maybe this will make it a good seamless transition. But, you know, for the upperclassmen that are going to be doing this indoor meet, what's sort of the message to them after it being a year? And obviously you guys didn't get to do that competition that was later on in the spring this time last year. So I guess what is y'all's message to them ahead of this spring now?
Well, I don't, are you talking about going into spring or into this championship?
I would say the championship and the spring.
Okay. For the championship, for our upperclassmen, I don't think we have to tell them anything, really. I don't think we have to stress too much of a message. They're all serious about what we're doing. They're bought into the program. So they know it's just go out and trust their training, and they're going to perform well. In terms of the outdoor season, until we get an outdoor season, I don't want to get too excited about it until we're at that first outdoor meet at Ole Miss. But you know, the biggest message is don't take it for granted. Don't take this time for granted. I mean, being a college student athlete, it's typically a 4 or 5 year experience. So, and it's not always guaranteed. You know, it could be injury, it could be anything. And as we know, it could be a pandemic, which I don't think any of us coaches have really gone through before. So don't take it for granted. Take every day, and take advantage of every day, because you never know when something really weird might happen. So make yourself a better athlete every day. And I think our upperclassmen certainly are. They are very cognizant of that, because some people have lost a year and they're never going to get that back. And they want to take advantage of this last one they're going to have. And if the other coaches have something to add, I'm more than happy to let them.
Good.
I mean, it's just basically just to echo what he's saying. Is just that, you know, for me and my group, you know, it's just, we're going to go out and do what we can. And that's it. You know, I just ask that they have, as always, you know, we have a good attitude, we go into it with good energy, and then that nothing is given to you. Like I just sent them a message last night. I said, nothing is given to you in this life. And basically that if you want it, you have to take it. And that's just how you have to be going into this weekend for me and my group. But Brooks, do you have anything?
No, I agree with everything you guys saying. Sounds good.
Hey, Tosha, this is Jared with the Daily News again. You know, I asked, you know, Brent about this a little bit, but, you know, Marlo and Alexis are 2 of the 3 that have gotten weekly awards this year. You know, it seems like they've had a really strong indoor season. I know the expectations were very high for D'Artez as well heading into this year. I guess heading into this weekend now, I guess, what are your expectations where that's kind of your group?
For me, I just want to get through healthy. Just to be honest with you, I just want to get through healthy. Let them start on the finish line. Let them in at the. Let them start at the start line. Let them in at the finish line, and be able to walk away from it. That's all I really want. If they win it, great. If they don't, okay. We have outdoor season hopefully, and we can just restructure and go back to the drawing board on whatever's happening. It's just, let's go into this with as much energy as we normally have, and let's focus and let's get this done. And then that's one more thing that you can take off your plate so we can move on to the next thing. So.
Hey, Brooks, this is Nick Keyser from the College Heights Herald. So just to kind of circle back to you, it's been a year, I believe, since you joined WKU. And just so kind of walk me through that whirlwind. And I know that we have the snow week this week. And so just what have you been doing this week to get ready for this weekend? And how would you assess being ready for this weekend with your group?
Well, I'll be candid and say it's been tough, trying to get access to things, places to run. I mean, it's nice to have facilities, but then when you need them, sometimes they're not there for you. So we have to kind of improvise and do the best we can. Being track and field, I think administration and facilities, they're used to us just being outside. So coming inside is kind of a shock for them a little bit. So we've just been trying to do the best we can to use what we're allowed to use. But at the end of the day, the hay's in the barn. So kids know that 1 week does not make or break us. It's a culmination of things. They're still riding off of their cross country fitness for some of them. The group, I guess in the whole year, it's been tough because, cross country season, we were dealing with trying to avoid COVID, and we did a really good job of that, honestly. And that's thanks to the medical staff and everyone involved. And then coming back from the winter, the group was hit really hard with COVID. It was tough, man. We just was trying to do our best to pick up the pieces. And but the kids stay positive. I really had to dial in on those kids that were going through some stuff and give them positive motivation and keep them going, especially with most of those kids being the better kids I had, unfortunately. So, but they've rebounded well. This is a really tough distance conference, so we are trying our best to try to put those kids in the fight and try to move them up. That's been the whole purpose of my job since I've been here, is just to try to bring the distance program up, to bring some consistency and some competitiveness to the conference from WKU, because this program is a storied program of distance success. And if we never match that again, at least I'd like us to bring it better than it has been before. Everywhere I coach, every position I've taken, the objective is always to leave it better than it was before. And my mission here is to make it better than it was before I arrived. And I think that we're doing that, and the kids are bought in. Recruiting is going well. Again, just trying to add more pieces. A lot of this is a game of numbers. So I'm just trying to build up those numbers. That way we can have that thriving group. We can turn up the needle a little bit in training and get kids to the podium in conference. And that's been the plan all along. And I'd say we're trending in that way, despite the pitfalls, setbacks. We've kind of brushed them off and just kept pushing forward.
This is Jared again with the Daily News. Kaysen was that other kid that picked up a weekly award this year, I believe. And I know back when we spoke before the indoor season even got started, you had high hopes for him. And you said you were a little bit biased because he's one of your kids and you needed him to be. But what are the expectations for him and some of your other athletes that you work specifically with heading into this weekend, or your hopes for them at least?
Oh, well, Kaysen. Well, if he throws well this weekend, which I expect him to, obviously, if he throws well, he's been throwing the numbers in practice and a couple of fouls at meets. He's throwing far enough to win the shot put. That's hard as a freshman to come and win a men's shot put event, but he certainly has that capability. So we're looking forward to that. At the same time, third place is very real. We're going to have some teams compete that we haven't seen yet this year and that haven't thrown at all this year. So you never know what can happen on that. In the weight throw, I think we've got another chance for a men's podium position. Brent has been throwing very well and has thrown very well at practice this week. Kaysen, of course, again, he's young, he's strong, he's athletic, so he could accidentally hit one right and throw really far. So for those events, in the men's weight throw, I think we should probably have probably 3 guys should score in that event. So we're looking forward to that. 2 guys score in the shot. John Elam will be in both of those events as well. So that's exciting for us. The pole vault, gosh, I think the pole vault, we've got chances on both sides to be on the podium. If Grace jumps well and Devin jumps well, they could both be on the podium. They're both ready to go. It's just a matter, we have very few training opportunities. So what I've seen the last few weeks, we're ready to hit a big number. It's just, are we going to hit it this weekend? So my group, I'm really excited. I think we can we can certainly score and score well in pretty much everything we've entered. So that's exciting for me. But the men's shot put starts. I guess the men's shot is first thing on Saturday morning. So we're going to find out quick. We're going to find out early what kind of weekend we're going to have. So, but we're looking forward to it, and I expect some really big things out of those kids.
Tosha, this is Nick from the College Heights Herald once again. And I guess just sort of talking about your group as far as runners go, we already talked about Marlowe, but just your runners in general this weekend, just what are your high hopes for them? Where do you think that they might place possibly, or just what do you think about your group heading into this weekend?
Yes, Tosha.
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out. Okay, so sorry guys. For me, I feel as if they should finish top three. Where top three? Who knows? Who knows? But am I expecting a win out of certain events? Yes, but hopefully they won't see this before we do this, before we run. But I would like to see them finish in the top three. That's what I'm expecting for Dartez, for Marlowe, for Alexis. I'm expecting in the top three for their events. People like the two freshmen on the guys' side, John and Elliott. I'm expecting them, to try and improve on their marks from previous, and that's all I want. If I don't see improvement from them, then I'm going to check myself first, just because there's always something I could have done in my training plan that could have messed that up, and then I'm going to check them. So that's how I do things. I try to check myself first, because sometimes it is the coach. Sometimes it is the coach. Maybe we made that mistake, and I'm okay with owning up to that. But I want to make sure that my kids are good, my athletes are good, and that's my main goal. So I'm expecting top three. If we get it, hey, that's good. Then you guys will know that I'm in a good place. But if we don't, hey, I'm going to check myself, and then let's see. Okay, let's talk about what's going on. All right. So that's it.
Anything else for our coaches here?
Nick, do you have anything else?
I'm all good, but